Hello, welcome to ERPNext training for accountants and business owners. In this series, we will cover ERPNext on a accountants and business owners perspective. We have other series for programmers, consultants, and technical team. This one dedicated to accountants. And this series will have it will cover almost all areas, that's including accounting, HR, manufacturing, payroll, customer support, ticketing, and all of this. It will come. And in the first series, in this first video, we will cover starting a company with, of course, starting a company, then finding partners, investments, and opening bank account, then renting a shop, and putting everything in ERPNext. That's our plan. So let's start first with starting a company. And we have in this company two partners, John and Mary. These are the two partners. John invested 2,000 real and Mary invested 1,000. In this series, we will use currency as real. You can change it to dollars or rupees or whatever. And the total investment for this company is 3,000. Normally, when you start a company, you may have other multiple partners, bank loans, and asset transfer from other investment or something like that. We will cover in the future sessions, bank loans and all, bank loans, payments and all. Today we will start it simply with two investors, John and Mary, 2,000 and 1,000. Together it's 3,000. Then we will start a bank account. In HSBC Bank. So in this part of the world, in the Gulf countries, you cannot have a company. You cannot start a company without a bank account. So this is here you are arranging the fund. Here you are opening a bank account. Then we start ERP, that is ERPNext. We start ERP. Then we will make these entries into the bank accounts through a journal entry. We will explain what is a journal entry at that stage. Then we will rent a shop, make that entry also. Then we will take reports, basic accounting reports like trial balance, profit and loss, and our statement of account and all of these things. So let's start. We started the company with two investors, and let's go to this stage. First, this ERP. So we are starting an ERP package first. Then we will start an account for John, then we will start an account for Mary, then we will start an account for HSBC, then we will make a journal entry. Let's start now. Okay. So this is the okay. Now here you should notice something. We will provide for all the students, all the trainees, all the students, and whoever watching this video, we can give them an instance of ERPNext on our cloud, so they can practice the section, they can make entries, they can play around, and after that they can return the instance, so we can give it to other people. And we will continue this series for all the ERP sessions. You can get whenever you want. So you send a mail to training@ERPGulf.com. This is the email ID, ERPGulf.com. So send a mail to this. That's training@ERPGulf.com. We will send you an instance, so you can use this URL and login. Okay. Now let's go straight into ERPNext. The screen, we will go switch to desk. And the first screen, that once we are giving you an instance to practice or to enter your data or in the production environment, whenever you get it, this is the first screen that you are getting. You will select the language. In this region we are supporting English and Arabic. ERPNext actually supporting so many languages, you can see it here. Then next. So here you select the country. We are conducting sessions for Saudi Arabia now. We will have it for UAE, Qatar, Kuwait and all in the coming weeks. So now it is Saudi Arabia, and you can see here the currency and the time. Time is obviously the regional timing, and currency here by default we are putting the local currency, but as you know, in this part of the world, import and export are a very essential part, and almost all the companies dealing with multiple currencies like dollar, British pound, and multiple currencies in the region. So you will need multiple currency in the future. So in the coming videos we will explain you how you can do multiple currencies in the ERP. Now as a beginning we are using Saudi Arabia. Then next, and the company name we will put it as a demo 06. We have completed 5 demos. This is the 6th one, and we will just name our company name as demo 6. And here you can see a picture. This is your logo and pictures. This type of fancy thing we will have a separate session. We will do it later. Today we will simply concentrate on the accounting entries, the first steps. And here there are distribution, education, manufacturing, retail, service and all. So what we do now, retail, and it would make a significant difference if you choose any of it, because the basic chartered of basic chart is almost same for all type of business. And again, fine. Then here you can put your own company name and the address. Here the bank name, I'll just put HSBC. If you put a bank account here, it will just create a bank account in the in the accounting, chart of account. So if you have multiple bank, or if you want to change this bank to some another bank, you can do it inside the chart of account. So even you put a dummy bank here, it doesn't matter much, but we are using HSBC, so we will continue with HSBC. And the chart of account part, you have two selections, that is standard and standard with numbers. The standard, it doesn't have any numbers here. You can see it's just names. And then if you select standard with numbers, there will be numbers along. We normally take standard with numbers because most of our clients are familiar with all type of accounting system like Tally, QuickBooks and all. They are all using. And one more reason that why we are using standard numbers, external auditors in the region and the submission of reporting and all, they are also using this chartered account with chart of account with numbers. So it will be easy for them, our external auditors, if you are using standard with numbers, and there is no harm with that, just use it. So we select standard with numbers, then the setting up will take 30 seconds or so. Once it's ready, what we will have, we have to do this entry of this John's and Mary's accounting. So we'll if we come back to here, let it finish. By the time this is the first video, we will have many videos in this series. So subscribe our YouTube channel, so whenever we release a video, you will get an update, or send an email to training@ERPGulf.com. That is training@ERPGulf.com. This video is sponsored by ERPGulf. So training@ERPGulf.com. We will send you update whenever we are releasing video. Not only that, we are conducting live sessions and on-premise sessions, on-premise training almost every week in this region, in all the 5 or 6 countries here in the Gulf region. So we can update you. So when we are conducting a training, for example in Kuwait, we can meet and we can discuss this. You can participate in our training as well. So let's go to chart of accounts. Here you can see the menu on one side, and here there is chart of accounts. So our first entry will be there in the chart of account, because if you want to do anything, any transaction, whether it's sales, purchase, investments, revenue, expense, anything, there should be an entry in the chart of account. Normally we have almost all entries available right away when you are opening, but still I will show you what to do on chart of accounts. Here there is a menu here, all it's there, like CRM, HR, loan management, payroll. We'll have training sessions for all of this. Today we are on this, not full accounting. Today we are on chart of accounts and journal entries. So we will click chart of accounts. Okay, so if you can either come through the menu, or you can just type here chart of accounts. So it will give you an option to open chart of accounts. Right now we are clicking hit menu and we are entering into chart of accounts. Now look at here, we have 5 accounting headers: assets, liabilities, equity, income and expense. These are simple English words, so I don't think any of you have an issue understanding this. Assets is your furnitures, the money you have in your bank, or the money in your cash drawer, or the money your customers owes you, like that. And liabilities are like the tax you are owing to your the government, or the money you owe to your suppliers, that kind of liabilities. There are many liabilities a company can have. And equity is actually liability, but it is if you have liabilities. Actually, assets is equal to liability plus equity. That's the equation. Asset is equal to liabilities plus equity. Asset is equal to liabilities plus equity. This is the equation, basic equation. So if equity is liabilities, then why we need a header called equity? Because when you grow the company and you have so many shareholders, you release public shareholding like IPO and all, then if you are putting same in the liabilities, it will be kind of mess. So we will put the shareholder info in equity. And income is your revenue through sales. If you are rented your own building and you are getting rent, that is an income, and many other type of incomes. And expense are so many, like the petrol you fill in your vehicle tank, the salary, or the material you buy for selling, and all of this. So these are the 5 account headers. So whenever you have something, you think about where it will go, where it is coming from, and where it is go. Here our first step, the entry that we are going to make now, John's 2000 real and Mary's 1000 real, and this both going to HSBC account. So what will happen? HSBC account will have 3000 after we make its entry. So we will create an account for John and another account for Mary and an account for bank. So but the bank at the initial setup we have already created. I will show you. So if you want to create an account for John and Mary, where it should come? Right, it should come under equity. Equity, you have different headers, subheaders. I'll create one to make it simple. I'll say shareholders of the company, and it will come under equity. You have to make this click, this checkbox. Why? Because this is a header. Actual account will come under shareholders. Both Mary and John will come under shareholders. I am just creating this shareholders. So you will see it here. You will see it here under equity. There is something called shareholders, and I will add one child, John. Is it a group? No, it's not a group. So it will come under equity. Okay, so it's not a group, and I create one account for John. See it here, equity. Equity, and there is John. Then I'll create one more for Mary. Is it a group? No, it comes under equity. There is something called account type. You can see it here, account type. This account type we should define properly, because all the statement that we are going to get in the future, like balance sheet and profit and loss and everything, it depends on those. So make sure that you select the correct account type. Then now create new. So now we have two headers, John and Mary. If you notice something here, for this John and Mary and anyone, this all of it are 0. See here, everything 0. What does that mean? It means we just created accounts, but we haven't made any transactions. No money came, no money go, no income, no revenue. So it's all simply, it's all zeros. So you haven't made any transaction. It's all 0. See, we will make a transaction next. Now see it here, John gave you 2000. I want to enter this. John gave you 2000, and that money, John actually gave you a check. That check that we will deposit in the HSBC and we will enter it in the account. So when John gave you 2000 as a check or a transfer and bank get this, so we have to enter it like money coming from John and getting into bank account. So we need to have a bank account here. Where will be bank account? Yeah, okay, it will be under assets. And if you look into assets, you can see fixed assets and current assets. Fixed assets are like furnitures, building and that kind of things. Fixed assets with depreciation. That we will explain this, how to calculate depreciation in a future video. So current assets are cash in hand, that means cash in your drawer or something, and we have bank accounts here. Why this cash in hand and bank account is called current asset? Because it keeps changing. It keeps changing because you have some deposit today in the bank, some check withdrawn tomorrow, some deposit day after tomorrow. It changes every day. So we will put it under current assets. So under current assets and under bank account, you can see HSBC here. It's coming because we set it up at the beginning, and you can put any bank here. You can put, let's say, Abu Dhabi Bank or something, Ras Al Khaimah Bank here, and you can just make it. I'm not creating it now. I don't want to complicate. Here you have HSBC Bank. So what you do now, from equity, from this John's account and Mary's account, we have to put 2000 from John's account to HSBC account and from Mary's account to HSBC account. How we do that? Let's go back to here, accounts, and you can see here journal entry. Journal entry, if you remember, I told you in the beginning, journal entry is the classic accounting entry. You can do same thing through payment, through account receivable, through sales invoice. This all of it will create an entry in the accounts. Whatever, I mean, if you make a payment from bank to somebody, it will reflect on the bank account. But journal entry is the classic entry type that accountants use, and it's very easy for us to understand what is happening. So we will come back all of this in the next video, but today we will do journal entry. And okay, now let's go into journal entry. Okay, we create a journal entry. What happens here? We will do HSBC. So from John's account, John gave you 2000, and where it came? HSBC. So HSBC, it is 2000. So it's a practice to put credit account at the beginning, at the first row, or but it's fine. You can put it here also. There is no issue with that. And who is giving money here? John is giving money to the company. So we will put it as a credit. And who is receiving, which account is receiving the money? HSBC is receiving money. So we will put it as a debit. So in effect, the company now owe 2000 Riyal to John, because John gave you 2000 Riyal. This debit and credit is I mean, most of you know what is debit and credit, but how to make this entry, you just need to have kind of understanding how it happens. But by practice you will understand where to put what amount. Now then you save it. So what you are expecting now, here I will just open another session. And ERPNext, you can work on multiple sessions, multiple computers. It's a very user friendly system, and this is what we are practicing now is version 30. So now we go to chart of account here. See here, everything still zero. Everything still zero. There is no money came and gone anywhere. Why? Because we just saved it. We haven't submitted it. Why there is a submission? Because normally in a company, junior accountants, data entry operators, they make this entry. But the approval process, that's a submission process, it has to be done by senior accountant, account director, or somebody, auditor, or someone like that. Depends on how you organize your company. Here for this training session, we allowed all the privilege for the same users to avoid complication. But this workflow process we will explain you in another video. So now I am making a submission. I am submitting it. Now you come back to here, refresh it, and see what happens. Here 2000 Riyal debit is on asset and 2000 Riyal credit on equity. See here on the current asset bank accounts, you can see there is 2000, and on the equity side you can see shareholders, John gave you 2000. So in case John asks you for a statement of account, you just press here and get his statement of accounts, and print it and give it to him. So it is here, it will explain John on this date he gave you 2000 and it is deposited on the HSBC account. It's a clear statement. If he withdraws money from the company in the future, it will reflect them. So taking a statement of account or a ledger is very easy in ERPNext. And at the same time, you can like company statements like trial balance, general budget. Let me make one more entry, because for Mary also we need to make an entry 1000 Riyal. Mary also put in HSBC. So I'll do that entry. Then we will come back and check trial balance, general ledger, profit and loss, and all of these things. So now we go back to here, journal entry, add a entry again. This time who is giving you money? Mary is giving you money. Mary. Okay. How much she is giving? How much is was? 1000. So we put 1000. And where the money go? HSBC. So I put in HSBC, and it's 1000. I saved it. And again, don't forget, if you don't submit, it will not reflect in the trial balance or wherever. And one more problem with the submit is, if you submit it, then you cannot change these documents. Then if you want to correct something here, you have to make a reverse entry that we will explain later. But before saving, you can change the document, because if a junior accountant or a data entry operator may make a mistake, senior accountant can correct it. Now we go back to chart of account. Now what we will see here, in the bank it should be 3000 and Mary will have 1000. So here it is, see, here we have 3000 and equity, that is, I told you before, equity is a liability, we have 3000. So look here, on the current, on bank account we have 3000. If you look at the ledger for this bank account, on the HSBC bank we can see two entries. John gave you 2000, Mary gave you 3000. This is the bank account statement of account, the HSBC statement of account. Now let's see here financial statements. See, trial balance will reflect all the entries. We will come back in a later video and explain the reports, all the reports, and we have several reports for the Gulf countries to submit to external auditors and for the government, customized for each countries. We will explain you that also. Now we are discussing the basic standard reports. Financial statement, there is general ledger, trial balance, you can see that here. What is happening in the company, it's all the things happening in the company. You can sort it by date and all, and look at the balance sheet. On the balance sheet you see you have total asset of 3000, and you have liability 0, equity 3000. But I explained to you before, equity is a liability, so asset and liability will be same. Asset and liability will be same all the time. We have no profit and no loss. Why? Because we haven't made any revenue, any income. No income, no expense. If you don't have any income, obviously you are not making any profit. So there is no profit. We have asset 3000 real is in our bank, but we have the liability, that is 3000, 1000 for Mary and 2000 for John. This is the current status of the company. Fair? Now what next we have been discussing? We need to rent a shop. Now we are going to rent a shop. How we are, as a first payment we are giving 500. We are renting a shop for 500 Saudi Arabia. So we have to make that entry. Now look in the chart of account, where it will come. Anyone? Yeah, it's an expense. It is an expense. Is it direct expense or indirect expense? Direct expense, generally it's when we are buying items to sell, it will go direct expense. And indirect expense, normally administrative expense, commission, depreciation and all of this. Here in this particular stage it is office rent. You can see that it's already there, but you don't need to enter that. You can create another one. For example, if you have multiple shops, one in Al Rashid Mall, one in Dubai Mall, one in Qatar Mall, you have many shops and you are paying rent for all of them, and you want to take statement of account for each of them. In that case you need to create multiple accounts. Here for the simplicity sake we will just use this office rent, one account. Now what we are going to do, we are going to pay, we give them a check, so HSBC check, so they will withdraw 500. So what will happen, this the building owner or the landlord, they will withdraw 500 real from HSBC. That entry we have to make here. So we are making an entry here. So this time what will be the first entry? Who is paying the money? HSBC. the money is going from HSBC. So we will put here 500 and rent. There is, we saw the rent account, office rent account, and it's 500. So what happens? We saved it and we submitted. See, we submit. Look, now on the chart of account, we can see some changes here. Now our asset is 2,500, that's it. And we spend money. There is an expense 500, and our liability continues the same because we owe John 2,000 and Mary 1,000. So that is still there, and the assets, that is 2,500, it is there, and expense 500, it is there. So I'll take a financial statement here. That's trial balance. It's all here. See, current assets, equity, expense, everything is there, and the total transactional amount is there. That is 3,500 for this side and 3,000 for this side. So all of it are here. Now we have other statements. General ledger is there, and let's see, balance sheet. Balance sheet, as the name suggests, it is what we have in the balance. What we have here, we have an asset of 2,500 in the bank, and we owe 3,000, and we made a loss. I'll come to that. Here we have a profit and loss statement. Look, we have a profit and loss statement. So it says, see, we have a profit of 500. It's not actually profit. If it's in red, it's loss. If it's profit, it will show it in green. So it's just, we have 500 loss. How we lost this money? Because we paid 500 as rent, but we haven't made any income here. We haven't made any income. So if you don't have any income, but if you spend 500, then your loss is 500. That's as simple as that. So these are the activities that we are doing today, and tomorrow when we are doing purchase, tomorrow we will do purchase, sale. Okay, so if we buy, let's say we make a purchase of 2,000 and a sale of 3,000, I mean that's quite a lot of profit, but still we want to make profit. So what is the gross profit? It will be 1,000, and we will adjust this rent 500. So what will be the next profit? It will be 500. So we will make a profit of 500 tomorrow by purchase and sale, and then we will have some profit and we can sleep well. So for the next video we will do purchase and sale, and subsequent videos we will do all other things like depreciation and recruitment and salary and HR and manufacturing and all of these things in the future videos. So subscribe this channel, so whenever there is a new video we are updating, you will get the update, or send us email to training@erpgulf.com. So you can get it through our newsletter, or you can follow us on ERPGulf on Twitter. So you can get it from there also. So thank you for watching this, and wait for our next video. Subscribe this channel. Thank you.